All right, first up, I want to go across to Vice President of the BJP, Jay Panda is now joining us. Let's begin with the politics. I have to ask you this, Jay Panda, because, Rahul Gandhi, for example, has said that this is a union budget which is blind to India's real crisis. How would you respond to this first up?
See, Rahul Gandhi ji has a total disconnect with reality because he keeps calling India's economy a dead economy when it is the toast of the entire world. It is the fastest growing large economy for many years now. It has lifted the highest number of people out of poverty, 250 million in this century. It has got the lowest inflation among big economies. It is the best fiscally managed economy in terms of if you look at the fiscal deficit, if you look at the debt to GDP ratio, these are all very important because this is what gives the headroom for a budget to keep investing in our people, to keep investing in infrastructure. Whereas established and developed countries like the US have a fiscal deficit 50% higher than India's. Usually well-managed countries like Japan, Singapore, and European nations like the UK have between 100 to 200% debt to GDP ratio when ours is only 55%. I give credit to Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. This budget shifts gear with the massive investment in infrastructure, job creation, and this takes forward the track record that the Modi government has already established, which I was just referring to.
Yes. A lot of specific announcements have been made for some poll-bound states. There's Tamil Nadu, there's Kerala, there's a lot of reaction from opposition parties on that. West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, she's criticizing it for not having enough for West Bengal. There's Odisha, for example, not really a poll-bound state, but a state that you come from as far as minerals is concerned. But overall, there is a suggestion that the government is using the budget to kind of balance its short-term electoral considerations.
This is very odd because, the Kerala opposition started saying there's nothing in it for Kerala. Same thing the Tamil Nadu people started saying. The reality is something quite different. Let me explain. In the last 12 years, there has been a very major shift in the way the budget is presented. In earlier decades, the budget presentation used to be all focused on the minutiae. A comma here, a full stop there, a train to make a 2-minute stop at a new place. That used to be the entire focus. Whereas in the last dozen years, the focus has become on the big picture, the vision and the implementation. And the track record of that is clear. I just told you it's the best managed large economy in the world in terms of every criteria that you can think of that economists look at, whether it is job creation, whether it is reduction of inflation, whether it is fiscal deficit, whether it is the debt to GDP ratio, infrastructure investment. We doubled the number of airports in just the last decade compared to what had been built in the previous 75 years. So let me just conclude this by saying 7 new high-speed train corridors being built across the country. Now, the finance minister has mentioned the starting point and the ending point of these high-speed rail corridors, such as from Varanasi to Siliguri. But obviously, they will be touching many states in between. Yes. And between the 7 corridors, they'll be touching a very large number of states. And where a high-speed train corridor comes up, it's like building dozens of new airports at every place that it stops. So, and the thrust on tourism, the thrust on job creation, the specific schemes to create jobs in healthcare professionals, in caregivers, in technology service providers such as animation and gaming, it adds up to millions. And the much larger number that will come from the tourism boom that is being funded by this budget and by the infrastructure that I mentioned, these will impact every state, not just poll-going states.
While CapEx has been one of the hallmarks of this government, and of course it's rising to 12.2 lakh crores, people can see big ticket infrastructure coming up. I don't think many people can deny that that's a reality. But one constant criticism by the opposition and others has been that where are the jobs and where are the high quality jobs? Does this budget take care of that question?
Not at all. Like I said, in this century, there is no other country that has lifted 250 million people out of poverty, which has happened because of the high growth rates and the targeted programs, such as the food aid program, such as the housing program that the Modi government has focused on. Now, in terms of the job growth, please remember that for 75 years, we used to constantly miss our ideal target of job creation. Whereas in the last decade, on most occasions when quarterly reports come out, we have met the job target of 1 million jobs created per month, which other countries like China have been faltering nowadays in the recent years. Other countries like the US and Europe are far behind us. Now, look at in this particular budget, there is targeted funding to create 1 lakh jobs in healthcare professionals, 1.5 lakh jobs in caregivers, 2 million jobs in technology sector, which is gaming and animation and related ones. And as I said earlier, maybe 10 times or 20 times of that number, which have not been mentioned in the budget as a result of the infrastructure and the tourism commitments made in this very specific budget.
Right.
So, obviously the Indian opposition likes to focus on the glass being half full. Let me conclude by saying this. Please take a look at what the Indian opposition has said in each of the last 10 or 11 budgets and see how they have been continually proved wrong. So it's no surprise that they are being negative and they will again be proven wrong.
All right. I'll leave it at that, Jay Panda. Thanks a lot for speaking to CNN News 18.